Hey, I wanted to give a brief demonstration on how to use a movie clip symbol. And to show that appropriately, I made a quick scene where all I have is a background layer with simple sky and grass, and then about 1 second in, a button pops up. So you see that just blip and go away. So right here, we need to give the user time enough to click this button. So I'm going to put my scrub bar where it is visible, and then I'm going to add a snippet to that frame. Just by being on that frame, I can double click stop at this frame, which adds the stop snippet onto frame 24. It will not show here in the timeline, but it will when I am testing. Now I'm going to make this box into a button. Let's just say it's a start button. There we go. Now this button, I need to take me past the stop. So it stops and I need to do something to get out of the stop. So this button, if I select it, I can say in my code snippets, I want to go to a frame number and continue playing. And I want it to take me to frame 25. One number less than 25 is 24 because it's always going to be one number off. Think about it as in the parentheses is frame number -1. So here we have that, and I'm going to do a quick animation going at the same time so we can actually see what's happening when I test. And then we can do the movie clip magic. So let me do a box here. I'm going to put the pivot at the bottom because that's where I want it. And if you do any changes to that pivot, it needs to be on the first keyframe. If you change it afterward, you're going to get some weird popping issues. So let's say from here to where the button shows up, the box comes onto the stage and maybe walks forward a little bit. This could be your character. Obviously your character needs arms and legs, articulated movement, facial expression. Let's say it goes from there to there, and then there to here, and maybe it comes a little bit bigger as well. Oh, I need a keyframe because I changed my point A. If you don't have auto key on, you need to make sure you're setting those keyframes. Now that you have those, you can tween them. That guy should be over there. I guess I moved. And you can move them after the keyframes are set, or after the tweens are set. There it pauses, and it goes over there. Cool. Let's publish this. File, publish settings, sprite sheet. I'm going to turn off loop, and let's make a brand new folder for this. I'm going to call it HTML publish and save. In my files, I can now run this HTML publish package, and I see the pause happening, and I have the play happening. Cool. Now, how does this have anything to do with movie clips? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two symbols that are exactly the same, one a graphic and one a movie clip. So I'm just going to do it directly from insert new symbol. Let's start with the graphic. Let's call this spin graphic symbol. And I'm going to do a black line. This is the middle of the symbol, by the way, that cross, so it's good to have everything centered up where you can. You can use your arrow keys to move things around. Okay. Now I want to animate this going in a circle. And to do that, I'm going to make this a symbol as well. That's why I called this spin, because this is going to be animation. But this one's going to be line graphic symbol. Use the naming convention that makes most sense to you, but that's what I do. Have the base one be the object, and then the container that is doing the animation be the named animation. So now I can make a motion tween, which is really cool. I can just say rotate say, twice in this time period. So I have a spin. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to insert new symbol. This time it's going to be a movie clip. I'm going to call it spin again. Movie clip. Library, let's drag in our line, put it in the middle, add a motion tween, and the properties have it spin twice, and effectively I should have the same animation. Now, this one's going to be the graphic, and this one's going to be the movie clip. Let's put this in our scene. So in the library, let's drag the movie clip into our stage and the graphic clip. I'm going to grab both of them and scale them down because they're both too big. If you hold Shift, you won't get any of that. So the movie clip is going to be on top, and the graphic is now below. So when I click play, you only see the graphic moving. Let's move that button around. Put the button there. The graphic symbol is tied to this timeline. The movie clip is not. Let's go ahead and publish and show that. So I should have updated the HTML I've already made, which it did. Let's restart this. So you can see they're both moving, and during this pause, the movie clip keeps going. The graphic stays with this pause timeline, and I click go, and they go again until the timeline stops. So you choose movie clip or graphic symbol based on whether you need to see it while you're animating and whether you want it to keep going during things like stops. Remember, the movie clip is this top one. And again, that looks like this. That's the movie clip. If I replay, you see they're both going exactly the same. The graphic stops, the movie clip doesn't, and so on. So I went over a lot of little different things, but hopefully that should help you out using those appropriately and add animation to your timeline. For example, if you had clouds moving in the background, would you want them to stop every time the timeline does? Probably not. They would just kind of keep going. And maybe you would have, say, a 10-second animation that just has a perfect loop, so it loops through. But the world doesn't stop when you're waiting. However, if you're animating a character walking and you want him to stop with the timeline so you can get all your buttons in there correctly, then you would probably want that animation to be a graphic type. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know.